2, 1. Time start. Alright. Alright, so this is the first boss, Anuprekan. Anuprekan as the first boss, it's a very straightforward boss, although it's not that easy. So yeah, but first of all, this is Hearthstone. Let me just explain on how this game works. It's a simple game. Basically, there are two heroes here, and there are two types of cards, minions and spells. Minions are creatures that you put on the board. It could do different kinds of stuff, and there are also spells like this, Frostbolt, that also have different kinds of effects, such as damaging the hero, damaging the hero, healing your minion, your hero, etc, etc. And first of all, you will see me mashing the top left corner of the game a lot of the times. That's because it will speed up the game if you actually try to click on the opponent's card whenever he tries to play it. If you don't click the cards, then you have to wait like about maybe 2 seconds and before the opponent's animations to start. And what do I want to do here? This is actually not looking that good. Let's just put this in. And yeah, the first boss, Anuprekan, it's just the first boss, so it's straightforward. His hero power, oh, I haven't actually explained what a hero power is. So a hero power is an ability that you could use every turn without costing any cards. And the enemy's hero power here is really strong. He only needs to spend 2 mana to get a 4 attack and 4 health creature from this hero power. And yeah, what we are trying to do, hold on a minute, okay, this should be fine. So what I'm going to do to beat him here is using a card called Naxxramas that I currently have in my hand. That's pretty good, but first of all, what do I do here? Let's see. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, I'm using a card called Naxxramas, which will turn the opponent's health into 15 straight away. So yeah, you won't see me actually attacking the opponent until I played my Naxxramas. Although I think it's a bit too early to use Naxxramas. This is an archetype known as Freeze Mage. It's a common archetype that people sometimes use to beat these bosses. And well, it's a fitting archetype for the first boss because well, it's straightforward and a good time for us to show how to kill the boss quickly with a straightforward strategy. Not sure if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to use my Naxxramas here. I'm turning the opponent's health to 15, and now all I have to do is just use my spells to kill the opponent. I have some damaging spells, but I actually don't have all the spells I need yet, and ooh, I'm actually very close to being dead. Okay, good, I'm not dead yet. Although kinda annoying that the opponent heals himself, but I have a way to clear the board. Wait, do I actually miss lethal? No, I don't. Unfortunately, there was remember in the middle just now there was a minion with kind of like a shield in his portrait. That's called a taunt, and a taunt stops me from attacking his own face. So yeah, unfortunately I can't kill him straight away, but this game still goes smooth. Okay, now the next fight is also a really straightforward one. It's called a Faerlina. Again, it's a straightforward boss, but there's a lot of things that I could talk about this boss, starting from the history of the decks that we used to use, the changes in AI that drastically changed how do you play against this boss, the different set of strategies the community have tried against this boss, etc, etc. But before that, let me just talk a bit about this boss. So, what do I do? Okay, this is good. So the very first thing you notice happening in this boss is, hold on a minute, here it is. There you go, this animation called Gain Greymane. So this is from my own deck, it's not from the boss. I'm using a deck type called Even Shaman. It's based on a card called Gain Greymane, which was released like last April. What happens is that if you have Gain Greymane in your deck, and all of your deck consists of cards that cost even amount of mana. By even, I mean 2, 4, 6, etc. Ooh, worship. And your hero power will cost 1 mana cheaper. So, but ooh, this is the most dangerous part of This is actually pretty bad. So, right, and what happening? Faerlina have a really strong minion called Worshipper. It will give the enemy hero 3 attacks, so she could easily kill my minion if this thing is alive. And yeah, things are not looking that good, which is an apologies because my commentary is also unfortunately got affected by it. And I haven't actually explained the basics of this boss. So what this boss do other than this strong minion is that her hero power will fire a missile for each card in my own hand. Wait, what do I want to do here? And yeah, the deck I'm trying to play is called an Even Shaman. Basically, the strategy here is to try to control your board early on, and starting from turn 4 or turn 5, ideally, you could start summoning your huge minions, because Shaman is a class that have a lot of huge minions. Wait, what do I have to do here? Although it's turn 6 already and I still barely got board control, so this is far from ideal, unfortunately. But I think it seems we managed to kill the worshippers. That is actually pretty unlucky that we actually have to face 3 worshipper very early on. So let's just do this. And why I'm using Shaman is because Shaman have a lot of good cards, a lot of good huge minions that you could summon for a cheap mana cost. So once you start controlling your board, you could start easily putting in huge minions, and which is what I'm doing here. And good thing that I also just now use a card called Hammer Jungle Hunter, which will destroy all the cheap cards in my deck. So from now on, I will be guaranteed to draw huge cards over and over. And what do I want to do here? Okay, so now all I have to do is just grinding the face. Again, there's a lot of other things that I could talk about this boss, but we don't really have time for that because we have to spend some time reading some donations, I guess, if we have time for it, if we actually do have some. And yep, donation reading.
Yeah, we have quite a few actually. We have $10 from Adonal, kept his promise. Here's the $10 towards the Trick Showcase. We have $10 from Trollbear, giving Adonal a hand. $10 from Planks. Adonal made me do this. $5 from Toggleton, no comment. $10 from Viyasu. Recovering from surgery, so it's nice to have some stuff to watch. Good luck to all the runners. And lastly, $5 from Anonymous saying Bohayo.
Thank you. So, alright, time for the next boss. Ooh, a spider boss, scary. So, yeah. Now, the first 2 bosses are pretty straightforward, but the next ones here we are going to see some really weird abilities, such as this one. So, yeah, the first one here, the third boss is called Maexxna. Her hero power here, you see there are circles around the hero power. It means the hero power is an auto cast. And auto cast means that the boss will cast her hero power at the start of every turn, no matter what happens. And her hero power is actually a strong one. It will return 2 random enemy minions to the opponent's hand. So whatever minions I put in, it will just get returned back into my hand, which makes it really hard to play this deck with a conventional deck. But the fact that you keep getting your minions returned means that you could abuse some of the abilities of the minions if you could use it over and over. Well, you haven't seen that right now, so some of the minions that you could use to abuse the zero power is, example, Novice Engineer. It's a very simple minion. You play it and you draw a card, but because the opponent will keep returning Novice Engineer to your hand, this is it. I could draw cards over and over with my Novice Engineer until I finally get all my combo pieces. And hold on a minute, what do I do here? Thinking emoji. Okay, and what we do against this boss is actually kinda similar in compared to the first fight. We also use the Alexstrasza, where all we do is just use Alexstrasza to turn the opponent's health to 15, and when we kill it with a bunch of spells. Although I'm using a different class this time, which is the Priest class instead of the Mage, because we happen to have a better... hold on a minute. because the priest class happen to have cards that are more suitable against this boss. Now, if you watch the world record run currently held by Subaki, you will see he is using a different strategy called the Quest Rogue. Quest Rogue is, oh man, it's actually pretty hard to explain. Basically, if you play the same minion over and over with the Quest Rogue, then things are actually getting dangerous. Monk S. Should be fine. Okay. Next turn I win. But anyway, yeah. And a Quest Rogue, it's a strategy that depends on playing the same minions over and over, and that will make your minions very strong, and basically you could kill the boss really quickly. But the key card in the Quest Rogue archetype, which is called the Rogue Quest itself, it has been nerfed twice, so it has been nerfed twice, and yeah, now it's not a good speedrun strat anymore, which is why I'm using the Alexstrasza right now. Anyway, that fight went really smooth actually. It's like the second fastest turn I could kill that boss. Man, all the 3 bosses have been going well so far. Time for the next boss. And the next boss, I'm using the mage class again, and again I'm using a similar strategy to the first and third boss, which is to use Alexstrasza and then you kill the boss. Seems pretty redundant, is it? I mean, not redundant, I mean seems pretty repetitive, isn't it? Like, you might be wondering why I keep using the same strategy. And Blizzard also noticed the fact that a lot of players are using Alexstrasza to simply kill the boss, and which is why they made a change in the way they design the bosses in the future adventures to avoid this. But first of all, let me explain what this boss is about. So this boss have a passive hero power. What happens is that when any of my minions are dead, he will summon a 5/5 skeleton, a 5 attack and a 5 health skeleton. So it's hard to play minions against this boss. If you play minions without properly thinking through it, he will just get a lot of huge skeletons that you can't deal with and you will die easily. Which is why I'm using mage. All I'm doing right now is just trying to defending myself and wait until I got my spells and combo pieces to kill him quickly. Now, coming back to the earlier topic, hold on, what do I want to do about this? Hold on, thinking emoji, let's see what I get. Ooh, this might actually work out well. Okay, AI, please attack with your Necronite. Anyway, yeah, if you see a lot of the bosses have, ooh, nice AI manipulation there. Anyway, that's that question mark that I have in my portrait is called a secret. It will get triggered if specific events happen, and that certain secret is triggered when the opponent attack my own hero. And what do I have to do here? Okay, and also that same huge minion called Necronite, when it dies, it will also destroy his adjacent friendly minions. So I end up destroying so many minions easily. Anyway, coming back to the earlier topic that I was bringing up at the start of this game. So yeah, you see here the bosses, all the bosses of Naxxramas have 45 health, and you could use Naxxramas to reduce the health easily. Which is why if you look at the future adventures, the bosses, they make the bosses to have only 30 health but 15 armor. Armor is kind of like, how do you say it? It's kind of like a double layer of health, where if you still have armor, what do I do here? So that's a counter spell, as expected. Okay, so that's a nice block. Again, armor is like kind of like a double layer of health, where if you have armor, then whenever you take damage, your armor will be reduced instead of your health. And I still need my Alexstrasza. Ooh, there's a curator. The curator here is a card that will draw a beast, a dragon, and a murloc. And Alexstrasza, which is the main combo piece I use in this boss against this boss, is a drag. Okay, I don't 8 damage. Yeah, I should be safe. Let's hope the AI don't actually kill my Alexstrasza. I was just about to use my curator, but turns out the AI, turns out I top decked the Alexstrasza already, so this is actually getting dangerous. Can I kill this? Hold on a minute. No, I still can't kill this boss, unfortunately. Okay, so what I will do, I'm going to use Eater of the Secrets to remove his secrets. I will freeze the boss and And yeah, it's not only me who have secrets, the boss have secrets too, and one of the secrets will actually stop me from killing him if the secret is still active. So fortunately, I have a card called Eater of Secrets, which will remove all of the enemy secrets, and I could ignore that certain secret that will stop him from dying. That secret is called Ice Block. It's a card that a lot of Hearthstone player knows, and I'm not sure if my ramblings actually make sense through the past minutes. Hey chat, does my ramblings make sense? Say Kappa if you agree, and say FrankRZ if you disagree. Anyway, yeah, time for the next boss. This is called Heigan. Heigan is a scary boss. He have a lot of demons. Even at the start of the game, he already have one. And this demon, what makes Heigan scary is that this demon, it will probably summon another demon when it dies. The card text of this demon is called Void Color, and when it dies, it will summon a random demon from the opponent's hand. So here, you'll see, I will kill this boss, and he will summon a demon. Fortunately, it's only a small demon. And his hero power is also pretty scary. His hero power will deal 3 damage to the left. Hold on, what do I want to do here? Let's actually tap. His hero power will deal 3 damage to the leftmost enemy minion. So by leftmost, that means left. You know, this is left, this is right. And which means that the way you position your minions is really important in this boss. And what do I want to do here? Things are actually looks pretty scary. But I have my Molten Giant, which I could summon for cheap if my health is low. And okay, next turn, do I summon Molten Giant or do I summon Hook Reaver? Let's try to be risky here. Well, I could actually use Life Tap, but I don't want to reduce my health for now. My health is kinda low. And I'm using Warlock because Warlock have good spells to control the board on the early game. And ironically, Warlock, being a class associated with demons, is also really good in countering against demons, because Warlock, one minute. Warlock have a spell called Sacrificial Pact, which I guess we haven't got on yet, but Sacrificial Pact is a spell that Sacrificial Pact is a spell that will destroy a demon just for 0 mana. So you basically destroy a demon for free. On a regular gameplay, it's really unreliable because you can't guarantee to face another Warlock at this, every time. But against this boss where you perfectly know that you are fighting against demons, the Sacrificial Pact become very strong. And oh wow, if none of my minions die, I could actually win next turn. Okay, never mind. Oh, my health is actually pretty low here. Although I do have healing, but still. Let's actually heal some health. That spell Drain Soul just now, it's a spell to mainly used just to deal damage, but right now my health is really low, so let's just be safe and oh, I win. This is a pretty quick one. Ooh, the run have been going smooth so far. The run have been going fast that my commentary might end up being too unorganized because I have to pack so many commentary on a short time, unfortunately. But so yeah, let's just hope we got some deaths, right chat? Twitch chat like reset, right? Anyway, next boss is Loatheb. Loatheb is also a scary one, and you will see why soon. So Loatheb, he starts with a 3 attack and 6 health minion, but that's not the only main threat against this boss. His hero power here, it only costs 0 and it will deal 3 damage to my own face every turn. So if I don't define myself, I will just die really quickly. Which is why I'm using Paladin. Paladin, first of all, have a lot of good defensive and healing tools, but that's not the only reason I'm using Paladin. So how this sports work is that, 99 health seems really high, isn't it? But the Blizzard gave this minions called Spore in the enemy side, and whenever you kill the Spore, all of your minions gain +8 attack. So the main strategy here is to basically kill the Spore, and then if you have a bunch of minions at the same time, then all of your minions will get a lot of attack, and you could kill the opponent quickly that way, assuming things are going smooth. Although, to be frank, things are kinda pretty dangerous here. Fortunately, I have this Benevolent Gene which will heal me 3 health every turn. Let's hope this thing works out. Let's see, I still need 15 health. I will die in like... and he also has like 7 attacks. I will die in 2 turns if I don't do anything. Let's hope this works out. And while we are trying to build a board, we could have a bit of time to read some donations. By the way, and yeah, this is how it is done. You kill the spores and then your minions will get a lot of attack. So you could kill the boss really quickly if things went well. Well, although things isn't really going well, things... Okay, I think now I have the board in control, although unfortunately my minions die. And... hold on, what to do here? Let's draw more cards.
Okay, I just go now. I had my mic muted in Discord, like professional I am. We have $10 from Vincematic, and he's saying Naxxramas is out? Question mark?
Hey Vince.
And just as a reminder, since we don't have too many donations right now, the donation bid just needs $40 more to be
fulfilled. Oh, also, hold on a minute. Oh, also, you might have noticed that I have this Naxxramas card right now. Naxxramas, if you remember from the previous fights, it will reduce the opponent's health to 15. It seems like a really quick way to beat the boss, right? The thing is, you are not supposed to use Naxxramas in this fight. Originally, when you use Naxxramas, the game will stop you from doing it, saying that it's not allowed, the Naxxramas will die, you don't get any effect from it. But here's the thing, this boss is bugged. This boss is bugged and Naxxramas actually works. So yeah, this is a bug abuse that fortunately Blizzard haven't fixed yet, although Blizzard did fix some other bugs recently. Okay, I win. Nice, the games have been going smooth so far. Kapak laptop. Okay, now Razuvious is a boss that most people have huge troubles, but I am a professional esports speedrunner, so this should be easy, right? But why does people have trouble with Razuvious? You'll see soon. So, first of all, Razuvious, his main threat comes from his weapon. He have a 3 mana weapon that will deal 20 damage to your hero if he manages to hit your hero with it. So yeah, it's really powerful. You will die in only 2 attacks. So which is why I will have a lot of taunts or a lot of cards to remove weapons. Fortunately, Blizzard is not cruel enough to leave us this boss again without any help. So there are these 2 huge taunts here that you could control straight away at the start of the game if you use this card. And the deck type that I am using against this boss is called an Odd Paladin. So it's kind of similar to the Even Shaman that I used back in my second fight. Odd Paladin works by putting a card called Baku the Mount Eater in your deck, and when your deck have that, if all the cards in your deck have an odd cost, which means it's costing 1, 3, 5, etc. Your hero power will get upgraded. So Paladin's hero power originally will only summon let's see. Paladin's hero power originally only summon one minion with 1 attack and 1 health. It's called a Silver Hand Recruit. But now this hero power will summon 2, so his hero power got 2 times stronger. And we are using this archetype because Razuvious is actually weak against a playstyle that depends on multiple minions. So Razuvious doesn't have a good way, effective way of dealing with multiple minions at once, unless if he have a spell called Brawl. Fortunately, he doesn't have it right now. Ooh, nice top tech. I'm so skilled. And of course, Paladin also have cards that will buff my silver and recruits. So once I get a lot of silver and recruits, it's easy to build a huge board. Oh, and speaking about that Brawl spell, Brawl is a spell that will destroy all the minions on the board except for one, and the surviving one is chosen randomly. So yeah, if you have a bunch of minions, then almost all of it will die. But fortunately, again, he doesn't have it, which makes this fight pretty simple for now. Let's hope he doesn't top deck Brawl. Although the AI does have minions on his side, and I think AI will less likely to play a Brawl when that happens. Ooh, there's that spell as well. Avenging Wrath. It will fire 8 missiles that will be randomly distributed against the minions. But my minions are huge already, so unfortunately I can kill him. Then that Avenging Wrath still hurts. I'm going to blame chat for this bad RNG. Chat, if you want to help improve my RNG, say Frankerzeb. And if you want me to die, say PogChamp. Oh, bro. No, that is actually dangerous. Actually, no, never mind. I have a way to remove that weapon. But yeah, again, that weapon is really dangerous. If you are not careful, you will get dealt 20 damage straight away. And what's annoying is that he also put up this town minion, which... Hold on, can I even kill this thing? Yes. What's annoying is that he put up those town minions over and over, which stops him from hitting his face. That's unfair, isn't it? And anyway, while waiting for us to kill this boss, we could... Hold on a minute. Yeah. And I heard Twitch chat is liking this boss, so let us do this again. For those who just joined it, welcome to the Hearthstone speedrun. This is a speedrun of the adventure of one of the single-player mode in Hearthstone called Naxxramas. And I'm doing the heroic mode, which is a mode where the bosses are made to be really hard by most casual players. But I am a professional esports speedrunner, so it's easy to beat this boss, right? You will watch me beat this boss in the first try. Here it is. Anyway, while we are waiting to beat this boss, we could spend a bit of time to read more donation. Oh, also, yeah.
But if we had, but there are no donations right now. But just as a reminder, there's still the donation bid going, and it's still missing $40.
Oh, and for those wondering why I died just now, so the AI on my last turn, on that previous fight, the AI used a card called Black Knight, which destroys my town, and he also has a weapon, which I have to say things are actually really dangerous right now. But anyway, yeah, he destroyed my town with that card called Black Knight, and his weapon will deal 20 damage to my face. And back then I have 13 health and 7 armor, which means I will actually die. So yeah, I have to say this is really dangerous. I don't have a way to protect myself against the weapon if you have another one. Chat, could you please help me improve my RNG by posting your... Hey chat, if you want to help me my RNG, I will appreciate it if you guys post your credit card details, the three numbers at the back, and the expiry month and that date. Thank you.
Loatheb versus Instructor Razuvious.
You should have stayed home. I will fight with honor.
Okay, seems like a good start. I actually have towns, I have small minions, and...
None will survive.
Reporting for duty.
Also, I would like to remind to you guys, for those with Twitch Prime, you could also support this stream by subscribing to SRD27, ESA Marathon, to support this marathon further. Yep. Anyway, things seems to be going smooth. Oh, I've just remembered there's something interesting I want to tell about this boss. Remember in Loatheb I said there are bugs that have been recently fixed? Well, thing is, this boss was actually bugged, and although it has been fixed like about it's been fixed about like 1.5 months ago. So if you look at my PB, current PB, you will see that. Wait, actually, I'm not sure if it's even shown in my PB, but anyway, before October of this year, the boss was actually bugged in a way that his weapon will only deal 10 damage instead of 20 to my own hero. And why is that the case? Well, first of all, the way his hero power works is that his weapon deals 10 damage, but it will deal double damage if it hits the hero. So if you but thing is, after the Witchwood expansion was released about, when was it? It was released about last April, right? The weapon is buffed and it doesn't deal double damage to the hero anymore, which helps this boss a bit, because in the first fight earlier, and maybe in the second fight as well, I wouldn't have died if the weapon is still buffed. But yeah, it's unfortunate that the bug actually harms me for... wait, this is lethal? No, I don't think so, unfortunately. But... actually, never mind. I was pretending to not notice lethal because I want to test the chat whether they actually noticed I almost missed lethal or not. Anyway, time for the next fight. Gothik. Gothik is a pretty funny boss. So his hero power is also an auto cast, similar to Maexxna, the third fight, or Heigan. And his hero power is that it have two different effects. It will give him a extra mana crystal, so he could start summoning his big minions early on the game. So that requires you to defend yourself really heavily on the early game. But the second part is that it will draw him a card. So usually drawing cards means a good thing, right? He will get more cards to play with. But the thing is, your deck size is limited. There are only 30 cards in a single deck. And when you start getting run out of cards, you will be in this state called a fatigue. Fatigue means that every time when you draw a card, but you have no cards left, you will get dealt damage instead. The first time you receive a fatigue damage, you will receive 1 damage, and then the second fatigue will give you 2 damage, so on and so forth. So when the boss finally started to run out of cards, you could easily kill him. What's funny is that this boss hero power is autocast, so even when the so even if he ran out of cards already, he will still draw cards from his hero power. But anyway, another interesting part about this boss is that you see some of his minions here have a death threat. Some of his minions are called unrelenting minions, and what do I do here? And when an unrelenting minion dies, it will give a Spectre to your own side of the board. These Spectre have 0 attack, and it will damage yourself at the start of the turn. So that means this is actually getting a bit dangerous for Life Frost Nova. But anyway, yeah, when those Spectres are on your board, it will deal damage at the start of your turn, so you have to get rid of it somehow if you don't want to die. But fortunately, the AI have been changed in a way where the AI will actively kill those Spectres, which are supposed to be bad for yourself. Back when the expansion was just released long time ago, the AI usually ignores the Spectres. They will just attack your hero straight away. But yeah, right now you don't really have to worry about the Spectres because the AI didn't know that the Spectres are actually harmful, and yeah, they will kill it for yourself. Okay. And the strategy I'm using here is a mage, so I guess it could be kind of similar as to what I've done in Anuprekan, and not all I've done is just trying to defend myself and later on use Alexstrasza. Although in this boss, Alexstrasza isn't really necessary because he will just kill himself when he's fatigued, and my health is actually really low. This is actually getting dangerous. Fortunately, I have this minion called Arcane Artificer that will heal me. Give me armor. What to do here? That will give me armor every time I cast a spell. It will give the armor equal to the cost of the spell. So if I use a bunch of spells, then I will get a lot of healing. Anyway, yeah, again, if we have some donations, we could start, yeah, we could read it.
Sure. We have one donation from the Real Spartan, $10 more, and he's saying, is this even legal? I could have sworn Nax isn't out yet. And we only need $30 more for the incentive to meet the goal. So go ahead and donate, just $30 more.
At this rate, he will die in 2 turns. I don't need to do anything else because he will just draw cards until he dies, basically. Well, actually, I could just kill him next turn with my spells. Now, anyone who is interested in trying to do a Hearthstone speedrun and trying to experiment with strategies, I wonder if there's a way to kill this boss without reaching fatigue. It's something I haven't managed to be able to do yet because this is actually, I think it's actually the slowest boss throughout all of the adventures because we have to wait until fatigue, and if you could create a strategy that could consistently kill the boss quickly, then that will be a huge time save. It's a challenge I hope any new upcoming Hearthstone speedrunners will try out. But anyway, let's move on to the next fight. So 4 Horsemen. The boss is called 4 Horsemen, and there are 4 Horsemen in the enemy side. The 3 Horsemen that are made. The 3 minions here are the 3 Horsemen, and the leader of them is the hero that you have to kill. So the way this boss works is that the hero is immune while the 3 other Horsemen are still alive. Or another way of removing the immunity here is by silencing the minions. Silence means that the card text here that says your hero is immune will no longer be in effect. And yeah, if I manage to silence all the bosses, which I will do, and if I could somehow kill 14 damage quickly, I could kill this boss really easily. And the strategy I'm using here depends on a 3-card combo that only costs 3 mana crystals, which will deal 14 damage straight away. Although right now, to be frank, my position is kind of bad. I don't have any. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. If I actually survive in 2 turns, I could actually kill him in turn 5, which is really quick. Although, to be frank, my health is kind of low, and 8 damage, I have none. Okay, I think I'm safe. Alright, next turn I win. Nice. I have all 3 combo pieces here. So the first combo pieces is called a Potion of Madness. Potion of Madness will take control of an enemy minion with 2 or less attack for a single turn. But we only need a single turn to kill him anyway. Ooh, Monka S. No other Soulfire, please. Okay, phew. And the second... Okay, so this is the first card, and the second card is called Divine Spirit. Divine Spirit will double the health of the minion. And then we switch the attack and health value of this minion using a card called Topsy Turvy. So this minion will have 14 attack, and I could kill the boss straight away. Because, again, the boss has 14 health and I have 14 attack. Easy. Oh, Patchwerk is a pretty funny boss. It works really differently compared to the other bosses. So Patchwerk here, you see he have no deck at all. He have no cards, no deck, but he have a weapon. This weapon have 4 attack, and it have a Wind Fury, which means he could attack twice a turn with it. So this boss will kill you really quickly if you don't defend yourself. He will kill you in 4 turns because you have 30 health and he have 8 attack every turn if you don't put taunts or if you don't stop him from attacking. And I am using Mage because Mage have a lot of cards that have this effect called Freeze. Freeze means that if you freeze a minion or a hero, then it can't attack anymore. So yeah, a minion that I'm putting here called Snowchugger, it will freeze any character damaged by this minion. So if this minion stays alive, then I could keep freezing him over and over. And nothing else to play here. And yeah, the boss won't attack, and that will also reduce a lot of animation time, so this boss will be faster. Okay, let's play this. Usually almost all of the time I will kill this boss in 6 turns, so 3 turns left. Let's see if I actually manage to do that right now. And his hero power here, it's a 4 mana hero power that will destroy a minion straight away. Which is why the way you make this fight faster is by stopping him from using his hero power. That is done by either by destroying his weapon, so he will spend his turn playing his weapon instead of using his hero power, or you put a town minion, so because the AI will prioritize destroying town minions instead of minions that give you freeze effects, or you do it by using Saboteur, which would increase the cost of his hero power so that he can't play it. And yep, that's a 6-turn kill. That's how Patchwerk is done. Next boss is another scary one. Ooh, this boss also has a lot of history in it, although I'm not sure if I will have the time to talk about all that. So Grobbulus is a boss where if you don't defend yourself early enough, you will die quickly, because his hero power here will deal 2 damage to all enemy characters, which means that all of your minions and your hero itself will get dealt by 2 damage. But you could abuse the fact that his hero will deal damage to your minions automatically if you try to use Death Rattle minions, just like what I did in the boss called Heigan. Wait, I actually haven't talked about that part. Anyway, yeah, so what do I want to do here? So yeah, because this boss will kill your minions automatically, you could abuse a type of minions called Death Rattle minions. A Death Rattle minion is a type of minion that will, what I will do here, things are actually pretty dangerous. Things are actually dangerous here. Anyway, yeah, Death Rattle minions, when it dies, it will give some kind of effect. And so, because his opponent will deal 2 damage automatically at the start of his turn, you could abuse some Death Rattle minions if you want to easily kill some minions. So example here, I will use this minion called Voodoo Doll. Voodoo Doll, what it does is that it will curse a minion, and when that minion dies, it will die. And because the boss will use his hero power to kill my Voodoo Doll, it will die automatically. I'll be frank, I might actually die really quickly here because things are actually getting really bad. I don't have a way to clear these minions easily, and well, fortunately I do have a bit of healing. Ooh, another scary feature of this boss is that spell that he played just now called Mutating Injection. It will give a minion 4 attack and 4 health. So yeah, he could get really strong minions from it, and I'm actually very close to be dying here. So Monka S, he only needs 3 more damage to kill me, and he does. And yes, I purposely kill myself just so we have time to read some donations. We do have donations, right? Chat?
We actually do have a donation, just one, and it's $5 from Mr. Racing Monster. Very excited to have Call of Duty finally into a marathon. After a decade of work by the entire community, we are happy to be featured. Also, my card is overdrafting. Oh well, it's worth it. And let me check. Oh, there's still $30 missing for the bid. And that's it for me.
Alright guys, $30 for the incentive. We are about, how much bosses? We are about 5 bosses into the end of this run. So yeah, if you want to support this, support the Movember Foundation and watch some interesting Hearthstone tricks, donate to the incentive. But anyway, if only I had that explosive sheep in my last fight. Yeah, kinda annoying that I don't have. Explosive sheep here is a really good card for this boss. It will deal 2 damage to all minions when it dies. And yeah, because the explosive sheep will die automatically with the enemy's hero power, the Death Rattle could easily be triggered, and I will explode all of these minions next turn. And if only I have some healing as well. Man, kinda salty about that last game. Anyway. Oh, and there's also another interesting story. Remember when I said back then about there are bugs that Blizzard have recently fixed? Well, this is one of them. if you look at my PB, if you look at my PB, the decks I am using are actually a bit different than what I am using right now, because the boss is bugged in a way where he will never use his mutating injection spell. That bug again was active when the Witchwood expansion was released, and it makes the boss faster and easier. But the bug was fixed again on 1.5 months ago. Well, I guess in a way it makes this fight more exciting, and ooh, I also actually haven't thought about the way I'm killing this boss. So yeah, I killed this boss with Naxxramas again. Yeah, which is, and you probably noticed I'm using Naxxramas so many times, which is why on future adventures they change the way the bosses are designed, and I will win next turn. Easy. This is actually a very quick fight. A turn 11 kill. It's like the second quickest turn I could kill this boss. Right, time for the next boss, Gluth. Gluth, I'm using a similar strategy to the Razuvious fight, where I'm using Paladin and I will summon a bunch of recruits from my hero power. Although I didn't use the odd Paladin archetype, I'm just using a regular Paladin. But first of all, why am I using Paladin in the first place? So this boss hero power, it's only cost 0, so again it's an auto cast hero power, and it will reduce all of the health of my minions into 1. So it's hard to put a single to make a single minion alive against this boss, because it will only have 1 health and it will easily be dead, which is why I'm using Paladin, where I am able to summon a bunch of recruits easily, and all those recruits are already originally cost 1 anyway, so his hero power doesn't do anything. Also, another scary part of this boss is this weapon here. It's called Jaws, and this weapon, whenever a minion with Death Rattle dies, and he have lots of it, as you could see here, his weapon will gain +2 attack, which means that his weapon could easily gain more than 10 attack. And again, just like Razuvious, I will have a lot of cards to remove the weapons here. Although, unfortunately, I didn't get one right now. And my health is actually low. Although, fortunately, I have this zombie. Fortunately, Blizzard is kind enough to put Zombie Chows in the opponent side of the board, because what Zombie Chow does is that whenever Zombie Chow dies, it will heal 5 health to myself, so my health I still could be alive, although I'm very close to being dying. I might actually die here, so chat, if you want to improve my RNG, consider donating, and yep, I'm dead. And yeah, I guess it's a time to read some donations if we do have one.
Yeah, that's good timing, because we just got another $20 donation from Anonymous saying, "Glad to make the Hearthstone speedrun this year. Keep up the good work and shout out to the Wet Boys." And we're just missing $10 more for the incentive to be met. So go ahead and donate.
Let's see. Ooh, okay. Fortunately, this time I have the weapon removal, this Gluttonous Ooze card. And I have something to play. Oh, also another card that is really good against this boss is this minion called Scarlet Purifier. Scarlet Purifier is a Paladin class card that will deal 2 damage to all minions with Death Rattle. A theme with Naxxramas is that a lot of the bosses have Death Rattles because we are fighting against undeads. And I'll show you using Scarlet Purifier. So it will deal 2 damage to all these minions, and this minion called Unstable Ghoul, when it dies, it will also deal 1 damage to all minions. So in total, it will deal 3 damage to all the enemy minions by using my Scarlet Purifier, and that will kill my Zombie Chow. Now the weapon here looks really scary right now, but I manipulated the RNG so that I have Ooze, and I could remove it straight away. Easy. Ooh, another weapon. Okay, this is annoying, although I can't kill the ghoul, so I can't stop the ghoul from killing my own minions. Although, oh, actually, never mind. Ooh, next turn I could use Sunkeeper Tarim to buff all of my minions so it doesn't die to the unstable ghoul. So Sunkeeper Tarim here is one of the cards that I use to massively buff all of my recruits. What it does is that it sets all other minions' attack and health into 3, so that my recruits will have 3 health and it will survive when I blow up that unstable ghoul. And at the same time, I was fortunate that I could play my Solemn Vigil. It's a card that will cost 1 mana lower whenever a minion dies, and because in this boss you tend to have a lot of minions dying every turn. And what it does is that it draws 2 cards, so yeah, drawing 2 cards for 0 mana is pretty good. Let's hope next turn I actually got a way to summon multiple recruits, so at the same time I could use this level up card that will again buff all my recruits by 2 attack and 2 health. Do I? Still not sure if I want to use my level up straight away. Let's just wait 1 turn, and at the same time I top deck a Noose so I could destroy his weapon. Alright, it's unfortunately, while this game seems to be going smooth, it seems like it's not going fast for now, and okay, never mind. I just got a card that allows me to summon a lot of recruits. Also, again, let me repeat that again, that minion just now that I killed, Necronite, is a minion that is featured exclusively on some Naxxramas bosses. What it does is that when it dies, it will destroy the friendly adjacent minions, so I could abuse the Necronites to easily kill his other minions. That's bad. When I was very close to killing the boss, he put this, which will blow up my minions when it. Okay, never mind. I manipulated the RNG so that I top the Quartermaster, which allows me to buff all my recruits, and so that it doesn't die when I blow up the Abomination, which will deal 2 damage to all of the characters when it dies. Okay, time for the next boss, Thaddius. Thaddius have another funny gimmick. What he does is that at every turn, he will switch the attack and health value of all of the minions on the board. So yeah, a lot of minions works differently because their stats are switched. Like for example, Voidwalker here is normally a 3 health minion and 1 attack, but because he will flip the stats, it will have a 3 attack and 1 health instead. But what's scary about this boss is not that gimmick, but the fact that he gained a lot of minions straight at the start of this game. Like, what do I do here? Like, Thaddius will summon 2 of his guardians, I think. I'm not sure what's the story of this in World of Warcraft, but yeah, he will summon like 2 of his guardians, Heigan and Stalak, at the start of the first turn. And if I don't deal with these bosses quickly, I will simply die really quickly. Oh, that's actually a good top deck. But Warlock have a lot of good tools to deal against this boss, such as Curse of Weakness here. What Curse of Weakness does is that it will give all enemy minions two less attacks temporarily for the next turn, and it also have this keyword called Echo, which means that you could use it repeatedly as long as you have the mana for it within a single turn, and that allows me to reduce all of the minions attack by 4, and because their attacks are all 0, when Thaddius flip the stats of his minions, all of his minions will have 0 health instead of 0 attack, and they will die instantly. So yeah, and basically another funny trick with this boss is this minion called Heigan and Stalak. So remember when I said the story of this boss is that I think the Heigan and Stalak is the guardian of Thaddius. In the normal mode of Naxxramas, if you beat Thaddius, you will get rewarded these cards called Heigan and Stalak, and if both Heigan and Stalak have died throughout a game, it will summon an 11/11 Thaddius, a really strong minion. And what's funny is that the Heigan and Stalak we faced earlier on the start of this game counts on the Death Rattle trigger of my own Faerlina and Stalak. So I could summon multiple Thaddius easily, and yep, now I have 2 Thaddius killing the Thaddius himself. Not sure if my rambling makes sense, but basically the gist of it is that I'm using the boss on card against himself, and yep. That's actually a really quick fight. Ooh, turn 9, yeah, turn 9 is quick. Alright, next game. Okay, the next 2 bosses are the last 2 bosses, and we have some really cool strategies. Also, a reminder, if the donation incentive hasn't been met yet, we have like about maybe less than 8 minutes to meet that incentive. But first of all, this boss have a lot of explaining to do. So first of all, this is Sapphiron. His hero power is that he will kill every minions at you. Hold on, wait, what? Yeah, this should be fine. So what his hero power do is that he will destroy all of my minions every turn with only 0 mana. So it's really hard to. So you can't really do a conventional gameplay against this boss. And our strategy is based on a card that was released on the most recent expansion on last August, which is called Maexxna. So what's a Maexxna? It's a really interesting minion. It's a 10 mana minion that with a death rattle, where the death rattle is that if it dies while you don't have any cards in your hand and don't have any cards in your deck, and when you don't have any other minions on the side of your board, it will destroy the enemy hero. So you will win instantly. Again, let me repeat it again. So basically, if Maexxna dies while you don't have anything in your hand, your deck, your board, your opponent will instantly die. And so and of course, the speedrun strategy here based on trying to take advantage of Maexxna's effect to what do I do here? Do I use shield block or puppeteer? So yeah, to take advantage of Maexxna's effect, first of all you need to make sure that you could kill your own Maexxna easily, which is easy to be done against this boss because this boss will destroy it instantly at the start of his turn. But how do you clear your deck? That is why I have this card called Hammered Jungle Hunter. What Hammered Jungle Hunter does is that it will destroy all cards in your deck that cost 3 or less. And if you notice throughout this fight, almost all of my cards have been cheap spells that will get destroyed instantly when I played Hammered. So my deck will be gone, and that allows me to easily trigger a Maexxna's second effect. And here you go, you will see me play Hammered Jungle Hunter and destroying my whole deck. Although unfortunately I still can't use Maexxna straight away next turn because I still have one more spell that I need to use. Also, to consistently draw my combo pieces, I have another card that you see earlier called Witchwood Piper. What Witchwood Piper does is that it will draw the lowest cost minion in your deck, and that's why I am using almost all of my decks are spells, so Witchwood Piper will have 100% chance of drawing the minions that I need to trigger my combo. And there you go. I don't have any more cards in my hand, my deck, and no minions on the board, and when it dies, the enemy will die instantly. Easy. Okay, time for the final boss. So the final boss is Kel'Thuzad, a really iconic character. You see it in Heroes of the Storm, you see it in Warcraft 3, you see it in World of Warcraft, obviously. And this boss is also scary in Naxxramas. It's normally a boss that takes a long time to beat because what this boss does is that he have 2 phases. The first phase is that where his hero power will deal 3 damage to your hero at the start of his turn. So just like Loatheb, if you don't defend or heal yourself, you will die really quickly here. So again, I have to work a lot in my defense. And he also has 20 armor here. And his second phase will get activated when either I take out all of his armor or when we reach his turn 11. So on his second phase, his hero power will get turned into a different one, where his hero power it's an 8 mana hero power, it costs a lot, but it's a really strong one because it will take control of a random enemy minion. So not only you have to defend yourself against this boss, it's also hard to get a good board control against this boss, because when you finally reach on the late game, he will just steal your minions. So it's really hard to beat this boss conventionally. Fortunately, I have a very unconventional way of beating this boss. Remember when I said this boss could control my minions? Well, we will take advantage of that, and first of all, what do I have to do here? Things are actually looking pretty dangerous. Monkas. Okay, I need that. Oh, there you go, that's the minion I'm talking about. So this minion called Majordomo Executus, what it will do is that it's a 9 mana minion. When it dies, your hero will get turned into a hero called Ragnaros. Ragnaros is an 8 health minion with a strong hero power that could deal 8 damage to a random enemy character. But anyway, the important point is that Ragnaros only have 8 health, so it's easy to kill it. And what you do against this boss is that you play Majordomo, you let your opponent take control of the Majordomo when he has switched his hero power, and then you kill the Majordomo and the boss will get turned into an 8 health minion. This Majordomo minion has also been... this is actually looking dangerous. But yeah, so let me just repeat. What you do against this boss is you use Majordomo, you let your opponent take control of it, and then you win. But first of all... and while we are waiting for that to happen, we could read some donations if we do have one.
Yes, we do have some donations. We have $10 from Dan Salvato 25. More of this professional esport RNG manipulator, please. And we have $10 from Anonymous. Let's go Hearthstone. And also, for your information, the trick showcase incentive has been met, so you can prepare for that.
Okay, okay. Next turn he will switch to his second phase. So there you go. That's his hero power, and he will control this minion straight away. Unless AI somehow decides to do something different. Okay, there you go. So he takes control of my Majordomo, and I could kill the Majordomo next turn, as well as using double Mind Blast to kill the enemy hero straight away. And there you go. GG. Time. Yep. So what's the final time? Alright, so we have 10 minutes on demonstration, I guess. Yep. Thanks, first of all, thanks for everyone who have contributed to the donation incentive. I guess we could start showing off the trick. What's the final time, by the way?
Your final time was 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 57 minutes.
Ooh, that's not bad. Okay, I might actually have all the time to showcase all of my tricks. So yeah, the first trick is on a boss called Lich King. It was released last year. The Lich King, I guess it's kind of acts like a sequel to the Naxxramas. And so the strategy that I'm using on this boss based on the Mechatoon card, just like what I did in Sapphiron. Lich King is a really interesting boss because it has different effects for every different class that you play. So every class, yeah. And for Druid, what Lich King will do is that he will destroy all minions in your hand and deck that cost 3 or lower. So that means that you could thin your deck, and by thin your deck I mean that you could let Lich King destroy almost all of your cards in your deck, and the only cards left are the cards that I need to trigger my combo pieces. So there you go, you see I only have 6 cards in this deck in total. And again, the strategy that I'm using is based on Mechatoon. If you remember earlier, Mechatoon, you have to get rid of your own deck for it to trigger. And it's easy to get rid of your deck because Lich King will do the job for you. The another part of this triggering Mechatoon is to destroy your own Mechatoon, which is why I'm using this card called Inner Fate and Naturalize. So when I finally have get rid all of my other cards and when I have 10 mana, what do I do? Yeah, I should be fine. So when I finally get rid of all of my cards, I could just play Mechatoon. I will be at 0 mana, then I use Inner Fate to gain 1 mana crystal, and I use Naturalize with my one last mana to kill the Mechatoon. So yeah, this fight is really quick. I'm actually playing kinda slow throughout this game, but yeah. Anyway, if there are any more donations, we could read it while I'm doing all of this Mechatoon stuff.
Sadly enough, we don't have any donations right now, but everyone in this stream is free to do so. Just as a reminder, everything you donate goes to the Movember Foundation, foundation that battles pretty much everything men are dying from too young. So please do.
Easy. Alright, how much longer do we have? I guess about 6 minutes? How much longer do we have? Alright, so let me just show the second trick out.
3 minutes right now.
3 minutes?
You have plenty of time. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, the next part I will show is called Chromagus. So Chromagus is actually a really hard boss. The win rate of this deck is maybe something about 60%, and this boss usually takes a long time to beat. So I might not actually go through the whole fight because we might not have the time to do so. But anyway, it's a really hard fight, and so many players are struggling to beat against this boss. And here's one way to beat it, if you still want your Blackrock Mountain Heroic card back. So I'm using an archetype called Discard Warlock. But first of all, what Chromagus does is that at the end of Chromagus' turn, he will give you a curse in your hand. What is a curse? A curse is a 3 mana spell that will have a really harmful effect to yourself if you leave it alive, if you leave the curse in your hand. So if you want to get rid of your curse, you have to spend 3 mana every turn, which is a lot of mana, and if you actually keep playing your curse over and over, you will just die because you can't play anything else basically. And yeah, also notice in Blackrock Mountain is an adventure that have a lot of dragons, which is why this card called Dragon Slayer is really good. It will deal 6 damage to a dragon. Ooh, he got nothing. Okay, good. And the strategy that I am applying here is called a Discard Warlock deck. What it does is that it's a deck where we have a lot of synergies in trying to discard your cards. And when you discard a lot of cards, it will help in completing this quest. So a quest is a 1 mana spell that you will get at the start of your game, and the Warlock quest requires you to discard 6 cards. When you manage to discard 6 cards, which we actually still haven't done at all so far, if you manage to discard 6 cards, you will get this card called Nether Portal, which is a really strong card. And of course, this card, if you discard cards, it will also help in discarding the curses. So not only it helps you in advancing towards your quest, it will also help in clearing out the curse. And right now the start seems to be going smooth, but ooh, this is actually getting dangerous. It seems to be going smooth, although right now I don't have a lot of ways to deal with this huge minion, which could be really bad. And I haven't discarded any cards anyway. So basically what you do here is you try to control the board while discarding your cards, and then when you finish the quest, you could you could have a I have to admit, things are actually really bad right now. Yeah, all I just want to do right now is just try to complete the quest and show you guys what the quest is about, I guess. Honestly, at this point, I don't think I will actually win, because I have hardly discarded any cards. My health is also low, and I still can't deal with these huge minions. Only the game will give me ways to discard more cards. So, oh, there you go. So yeah, when you finish the quest, you got another portal. What another portal will do is that it will summon this permanent portal that won't be gone, because at the end of the portal your turn, it will permanently summon 2 imps, and yeah, so you will get permanent imps over and over. And because I showed the quest and I want to have the time to showcase another trick, I purposely die, so we have time for the last trick. Hold a minute. Which one it is? Okay, the last trick, I will showcase a trick that I've done on the hold a minute. And the last boss of the last my last ESA run and League of Explorer. This is the last boss on on League of Explorer. We are using a strategy called Exodia Paladin, a strategy that will allow us to kill the boss once we have all the required cards. Honestly, my explanation is kind of bad. Anyway, yeah. Exodia Paladin works by utilizing a card called Uther of the Ebon Blade, where Uther of the Ebon Blade is a hero card that will upgrade your hero, and when you use it, your hero power will become a hero power that will summon a horseman, and when you summon 4 of those horsemen, then you will win instantly. They will destroy the enemy hero and you win. It's a strategy that is really effective because this boss is immune, and it's hard to kill this boss normally because he will only lose his immunity temporarily. And this hero power that the enemy will give is called a Ramage. It will give me an artifact. Artifact is a card game made by Valve, a really good card game. It will be released in 4 days, or you only need $4 to buy it. This message is definitely not sponsored by Valve Entertainment. And wait, hold a minute, the hell. Okay, I guess the run is over. Yeah, Hearthstone is a good game, guys. The run is over. Thank you. Yeah. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the several other runners who have helped me throughout this Naxxramas run. Wait, I can't remember the name off the top of my head all of a sudden. So yeah, I want to give shout out to several names: 111, Finsomatic, Monk, Mirin, Maifa, and yeah. So they have been actively involved in finding out what's the best speedrun strategies for Naxxramas within the last 3 months after my ESA run last July. So yeah, huge shout out to them. And I also want to give a shout out to the Hearthstone subreddit moderators who agreed in promoting this run in the subreddit. And yeah, also yeah, shout out to ESA for giving me the opportunity to do this speedrun. I hope there will be more runners in the future, and Hearthstone speedrunning is a really interesting way of playing Hearthstone that unfortunately I think not a lot of people know about. There's a lot of deck buildings, strategies, and yeah, a lot of small decisions in what you could put in your deck, how you play your minions, etc., etc. I guess yeah, that's it, I guess. And thanks viewers for donating for the trick incentive. And yeah, don't play Artifact, play Hearthstone. Thank you.
Must have been here some point in the past. Familiar shapes and sounds at last. The smoke and lights, the crowds amassed. The moon behind skies overcast. I must have been here some point in the past. Familiar shapes and sounds at last. The smoke and lights, the crowds amassed. The moon behind skies overcast.
Hi! Welcome back to ESA Movember. It is midday?
Yes,
Midday?
it's actually probably 1 p.m. now.
Oh, okay. That's midday, isn't it? Kind of like day? I don't know, like the days, evenings, when they are.
I
Oh,
guess
man.
midday.
Okay. Well, anyway, hi, I am Morale. This is,
Psycho Bunny.
and we are your hosts for the next coming couple of
Runs.
runs. Yeah. You've just watched Hearthstone, Curse of Naxxramas, and the Trick Showcase by SRD_27. Hope you enjoyed that. And next up we have...
We have Dark Souls Remastered Any Percent by Hivemind. And this is going to be on PC because, you know, it's on the Switch and everything, but it's on PC.
Right. And so we are fundraising for the Movember Foundation, who work to prevent men from dying too young. So definitely donate, and we've also got a couple of upcoming goals and bid wars, so definitely donate towards those. Make your money's
Count.
worth count.
I mean, not count, but like, you know, you can try and get something out of it, you know, like a challenge or
Yes,
something.
for sure. So do that, everybody. We are a bit behind,
So, yeah.
so we're
Enjoy the
ready
run.
to go. Oh, before we... Okay, Planks wants to add something.
Okay, we've got a really exciting little block coming up. When we did the submissions for ESA Movember, we invited... Oh, I'm shuffling a bit. We invited any groups who wanted to meet up in their own home and do like mini meetups for this marathon to get in contact with us, and we said we'd schedule all their runs together. So the upcoming block, the next few runners, are all together in the same place, so that they've got a live audience in their own home.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So, enjoy.
Awesome.
All right, I guess we're live.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, all right. Hello, everyone. Hello, ESA.
Hello.
I'm Hivemind. I'm going to be running Dark Souls Remastered Any Percent. This is a good game. And this is Denflesh. He's a Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition runner, one of the best in the world.
And remastered as well.
Yeah.
Technically.
Technically. So he's gonna help me commentate this run. Yeah, I guess we can start. Oh, whoops. So the timer starts when I press OK. I'm gonna do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7,